Welcome to For the Fans. I am Kevin, and I'm here with Shantae and Sheldon, and
Hello.
we are going to be here to talk about BB25
And wine.
and wine. They didn't get any wine in the house, but we are going here to talk about some Big Brother 25. Before we do, Shantae, Sheldon, we talked to you on Friday. Shantae, let's get your thoughts on Jared's ultimate eviction and Cameron coming back in the house.
I'm like, as much as I was hating on Cameron earlier, I love Cameron in the house. He is so good. Like when I was talking about how boring the game is, he came in and he made it so interesting. And I want him to stay. And I'm so happy that Jared went home because I was tired of his ass. I want him to leave.
the Jared has been on a tour as of late, talking about the things from his exit interviews. He was on a couple different shows. Where today, Monday, the 2nd, he was on a couple different shows apologizing to both America, Matt, and anyone in the disabled community that he may have offended. That he offended, not may have offended. He's taking full responsibility. He's taking full. When he called America a retard, and when he may have how he treated Matt. Mm-hmm. He apologized, and he seemed contrite. He seemed contrite on both the Taryn interview that I saw with Taryn from Rob at the podcast, and there was a second interview I saw. Oh, he was on Tiffany, Derek, and Hannah's show today, and so he seemed contrite and seemed serious in his apologies. So that's really good.
I'm sorry, I can't be serious as
Shantae's not just finish the bottle, Sheldon.
It's done. I'm done. Hey, this was imported from New Zealand.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, unless you want to be. I'm done.
Solo stove, the best outdoor solo stove.
So he was good on those. He also said, Shantae, if you didn't know, him and Kenzo broke up before he came on the show. So that's what he's saying. That's what he's been saying.
But we did see Kenzo on social media, like kind of say something negative about the situation, didn't she?
At the time, but who knows? Maybe they weren't like broken up. Maybe like he thought he broke up with her.
I kind of feel odd speaking about her because we brought her up a lot because she didn't get cast on Big Brother. Like she didn't sign up for this.
She did though.
No, she didn't.
Like she didn't sign up.
Like posting on social media about it and like associating herself with it. She's implicitly signing up. Yeah. But at the same time, do I believe they were actually broken up before he went into the Big Brother house? Hell no. He's full of it. I believe they're actually broken up now because she's been watching all these episodes with him and Blue. Were they broken up before he went in the house? No.
Well, speaking of him and Blue,
oh no, would Serene let him do that in the house?
Listen. If I'm a 25-year-old man, my mom might not know.
Not to embarrass her, and
yeah,
and he just took Blue up to the HOH room. So there's only so much that your mom can do.
Yeah, and as a 25-year-old man, I don't know that my mom knows like the specifics of my relationships. She may not know that we like ended things like right before I came up in here.
His mama the same line he told us. Yeah, we broke up. Yeah.
Serene knew the specifics about his relationship with Jared with Blue because she saw that.
She happens to be like a room over. There's nothing she could do about that. You couldn't hide that one.
We all knew those specifics.
Let's talk about this relatively boring episode.
Yeah. Let's do it. You know what? It's funny because every season, we get some of these, right? Because as the people start to wane, the action starts to wane, and that's why they have so much other stuff to fill in there, right? This episode, we're not going to touch on it too much, but this episode we saw Mimi getting the most screen time she's gotten pretty much all season, and it was her disinfecting things.
Only because we knew she ended up on the block, and they were like, "We got to have something of her." And
what do we have of Mimi?
All they had was her cleaning.
Must I say, as I was watching her, I felt like I may have been kind of looking in the mirror because I walk around with disinfectant and like spray doors. like I do that. That's me.
See, yeah, I can see that. That's not a surprise, but it's episodes like this where you get that filler, if you will, and like you said, Chantate, at the end of the episode, Mimi does end up on the block. We're gonna get there, but I think they were like, we need to show more about this person because we don't have much in the stuff.
Who is she? Was she on the show?
If you think about it, also, they're like, okay, here's a clip. Here's a great Mimi clip. Oh, Izzy's in it. Can't show that one. Here's another great Mimi clip. Jared's in it. Can't show that one. No. Here's another great. Because
like all these people are out of the house now. Now we have to stay
correct. And so you can't show stuff of people that are gone because you're trying to make it seem like this happened recent-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
It happened on week 1 of the house when she was
correct.
Because the house looked pretty clean.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
And as they're playing the clips, they're like, oh, okay, cut out the part where Heisem's there. Okay, keep playing it. Don't show this scene right here. There's Riley right there. Don't show that scene. Show the next one.
Like, what was the name of the girl who went out first? Oh, I don't know.
Kirsten, yeah.
Like, it's so funny because usually I skipped through the recap and it skips through, but like, I don't know, I guess I was distracted and it played. And I was watching, the beginning where it had all the people in the house. Intro. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that girl.
That's the sign you're about to get an episode that's boring. When the intro comes on, they're like, "Up, that's 1 minute of less content we have to find."
And
we also had the talking about how America used to be a sucky kisser. So I mean, that was also very important for us to hear.
And I think that conversation happened either like last week or the week before. Like that, it was like we need. And I don't blame them. I mean, how can you? Chantate, this is your first season watching, and we have 3 episodes we got to put on a week. And if there's not action, which is one of the reasons why we're here, we are 64 days in, I think, or so, and you're just now really getting these filler kind of episodes. They've been playing, they've been playing because you got to do 3 episodes a week. We got to have something to put in there.
Well, hold on, they've been playing. We've also had 2 evicted people that are back.
So yeah,
we've also had some ridiculous like producer-led
shenanigans.
Right, so yeah, they've been playing, but hey.
Well, let's get into the episode so we can break it down and what we had going on. So first off, we get Cameron coming back in after doing that do or die competition. As we know, he had 3 minutes to maneuver the
golden ball
thing up into the hand. What did you think of this comp all in general, Chantate?
That was boring, but
right.
It was smart of him to do it himself and not rely on Jared to fail, even though I do feel Jared would have failed. And he would have been back either way. But like the fact that like, I'm going to take my fate into my own hands and make it work. Like, I respect that choice.
So after we get him back in the house, we get the viewpoint of everyone with Jared's immediate eviction. Jag is happy, Corey's happy that Cameron's back over Jared, the lesser of 2 evils for their sake. But then we see what I thought was an interesting thing was Blue sitting on the couch openly crying.
Oh, shut in.
Yeah, and Suri like privately mourning.
And I'm like, this is so funny because her son, who she is very broken up about because Izzy's gone, Jared's gone, like basically all her children are gone. Yeah, and she has to comfort Blue because
her stepdaughter, her daughter-in-law. Yeah,
her daughter-in-law. Like, I feel like I laughed out loud when I saw that.
But the weird part about it is that Blue is sitting there crying to her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law doesn't know that Blue knows that she's her mother. Like also weird. Like, at what point is Blue going to go to Suri? Like when Blue needs to go to Suri and say, "Hey, Mama Suri, you know I'm here for you. Just so you know, I've known this secret about you and Jared for weeks now, maybe a month at this point. It's a secret for us together, and that's how we ensure that Suri takes care of Blue." I just don't think Blue is strong enough of a player to figure that out.
I think Blue
like Blue enough to take care of her.
I don't know, but I'm not sure if Cirie would do that to Jared. Like, I'm not sure about that.
Ain't there? Like, I will say I'm kind of worried about Cirie because Cirie kind of has given up all fight. She's just like, whatever. Like,
I think quite the opposite, right? I think Cirie now has nothing but to turn.
Person to clean up after, that's for sure.
But I think she's now turned, like she says it in this episode right here. She says, "Y'all gotten rid of everyone I love," and then they flash Jared's face and then Izzy's face. And so, since everyone I love is gone, it's only time to switch into dominating Cirie mode, right?
But then I don't feel like in this episode, which I have to be honest, the fact that at no point was she really a factor until Felicia tried to throw her in there and Cameron's like, nah. Like, how does she have it just rolls off her back? Like, I was worried at first. I was like, oh no, now everyone's going after Cirie. No one even brought her up except for Felicia to save herself.
On this show, I've been here touting the prowess of Cirie and her game and gamesmanship.
Kevin, yes.
But the reason is because of what you're seeing here, right? Normally she's not playing with people that she like has. Normally she doesn't have a son to protect or a daughter to protect herself. And these skills right here is what Cirie does, and it's so good because it's so subtle. Yeah. Because it's
considers her.
No, and it's scary because she's so good. In the episode on Friday, when I was talking with Sheldon and Kylie on Friday, one of the things that was remarkable was that Cirie had a conversation with America on the feeds, and no one knows what the conversation was because it cut, and then they came back, and she's telling America, "I'm so happy you're here in this house. I'm so glad we got to talk," and they hug, and Cirie's crying. And so they hug, and then America goes to Corey and says, "I feel really good about Cirie. I don't know you're even like thinking about targeting
against Cirie."
And then yes, and then a little bit later, Corey has a conversation with Cirie, and she's like, "Let's cut the bullshit, Corey. What's going on with you in America? You guys gonna be something outside the show? What's up?" He's like, "Oh, we're in different places." He's like, "Well, if y'all like each other, make it work." Yada yada yada. And then they like laugh and they chuckle. Corey's like, "I think me and you are the only ones that don't like love it in here." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't." He's like I like the game, but it's like really hard. And she's like, "Yeah." And they like connected on that level. They talked about Izzy and how much
Corey back in.
Corey goes back to America and is like, "Yeah, we talked." She's like, "What y'all talk about?" And she's like, "Nothing game related." And like, it was really nice. And like, back in there.
Of Cirie again.
Yeah.
Wait, can we pause real quick? Can we talk about the ugly mustache that Corey and Matt are doing? What is this? Is this
okay?
A bed?
So I don't know about Matt's mustache, but I know that Corey's mustache is for America. She told him that he looks so young without facial hair because he does, and now she's like,
he has a dirty upper lip. It's not. It is not working.
She likes it, so he has it. As long as she likes it, I love it. You know how that is? If she likes it, I love it. That's
how like you can see all his skin through it. Like
that's how it grows in, Chantate. That's how it grows in.
All right. Good luck to him and his facial hair.
Not all of us have the great facial hair Sheldon has. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have great facial hair at all. This is like 2 weeks.
Mine is usually blotchy myself. It is what it is, You do what you
get. What you get.
You get what you get.
And what is Matt doing? Is he solidarity? Like, what is going on there?
I don't know.
Maybe he's lazy. Maybe he just doesn't want to. Like, I have facial hair because I'm lazy. I don't want to wake up and shave.
I shave like once a month. It's like that's it.
Okay, time back in.
So one of the things I want to talk about is, you're right, Kevin, that there is this magic that Cirie has, and she's always had that. But the other part of the magic is that, however much we don't like to say it, as you and I, Kevin, don't love comps, a lot of Big Brother is comps. And so from a strategic perspective, I don't necessarily know if there is value in automatically saying we got to get rid of Suri, if she's not a comp threat. The threat that Suri possesses is that she has 3 votes. She has herself, Mimi, and Felicia. Felicia, maybe not as much, but that's the threat. And so let's say you do target somebody else. Yeah, you're going to have to go at them at some point and slowly start to nibble somebody off. But I'm not sure that Suri is that big of a threat just yet.
But Sheldon, I disagree with you. A lot of the game is not comps. Dr. Will won season 2 without winning a competition.
No, it's not about winning.
Suri hasn't won a single one either.
So it's not about the winning of the competition. It's about how the game board is positioned and if the people on your side have the ability to win or not. And who on Suri's side has the ability to win? Well, arguably there is nobody on her side at all. Correct. I assume of the people that are on her side, she's closest to Mimi.
Well, Sheldon.
Felicia, but
Sheldon,
even so,
let me stop you right there.
Matt. We're forgetting about Matt. Matt
Sheldon,
kind of.
That's what I was going to say.
Firmly on Suri's side.
Sheldon, I'm going to stop you right there. You said Suri's side. Everyone's on Suri's side, and that's the point, right? Because even in this episode, we see
no one said.
Not just that. We see a scene where Cameron says to Suri while they're sitting at the table, "I got you," because Jared said the only thing I want you to do is protect Suri. He tells Suri at the table, "I got you," because.
But part of I completely agree with that. But imagine Suri was a 6'2", 7-8 pack man.
Okay.
Right? Like, I don't actually think she is sitting as pretty and as calmly. Like, I think she starts to visually and in the game, in the ability to win, look like a threat. And so the fact that she is Mama Suri actually lowers her threat level.
So question, and let's think back, because me and Sheldon, me and you have watched a lot of these shows. Chantate is new to them. Who else has as the kids say, the riz that Suri has? Who else has the charisma that Suri has that can make people just unarmed? Because I don't know anyone in either show that can talk to you in a way where you feel good about them. And you're right. She's a mom. She looks like a mom. But even there's no one else that has that charisma in most of the shows and most of the years that we've watched.
I'm looking at pictures.
She first got on Survivor. Again, this is me coming in. But when she first got on years ago, she didn't come in as the mom. She came in as I got off my couch and decided to do something. And she had 3 young kids. So Chantate, just so you know, she had 3 young kids, and she was a woman that got off the couch, but she started on a tribe of older ladies. Very advantageous for her.
Kevin, I think you're right, but also none of those Suri-like people, if they do exist, end up winning.
Right? So you're right, but then you think about Taylor Hale last season, who changed the mode of how you play the game, or is hoping to.
Yeah, but right? I think Taylor Hale is an oddity.
She might be an anomaly. She might be an anomaly.
She herself is actually the anomaly or the oddity. I think that season and what transpired with the bullying and
the nastiness.
I'll say it, the racism, the shit that was going on in that season. I think that's a weird sort of a thing that allowed her to do what she ended up doing in the game.
I do wonder though, is how many? Because I'm not voting for someone because you won comps. I just am not.
No, of course not.
And most people, they've been voting them off if they win comps. They vote Heisem off because he kept winning everything.
Right. So you winning all the comps in the end, if I'm sitting in jury, personally, Kevin Gilreath, if I'm sitting in jury and a Cameron's up there or a Matt's up there, I want to hear what you did beyond the comps, because I saw the comp wins, but I want to know what you did with that power, because I watched Suri control the game for 45 days without winning a single competition. I watched Corey control a whole vote that Cameron won the comp, but Corey decided who was going home, and Corey did not win the competition. And so I want to see what you did if you had power physically, if you physically won the competition, what you did with those things as opposed to just winning.
Well, look, Look, I have to agree with you because the truth is I can't win comps.
Same.
So
No, I'm with you. Me and you are not great
That's
comps.
not what I could do. But I then have this question of, let's say it's a final two, and Suri is sitting beside Cameron. I see an argument for Cameron, and I see an argument for Suri to win. And I don't think it's a hands down Suri win.
I think what'd you say, Shantae?
That would be glorious. That would be great TV.
Yeah, I think the only person that she like loses to hands down is Matt. Because Matt was able to make moves without being in power, and then he was able to use his power to also make moves. So it's
but I'm not. I think Cameron beats her, and like I feel bad to say it, but I like. How do you have the Cameron story? And again, we still have 16 more months in the longest season.
It's not a long season. It just went later. It just aired later.
But like Cameron might win that.
I love Cameron and I love what he's done, but the people in the house don't love Cameron.
Correct.
And when you think about the remaining people that are going to end up on this jury, they're not Cameron fans. Like all his people that are fans of him, except for Bowie Jane, are gone and they're out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how a Matt does not give his vote to Suri, how a Jag doesn't give his vote to Suri. Right. I don't know how a Blue doesn't vote for Suri. I don't know how Corey, who loves the game and knows what Suri
disciple.
If the Suri is in the end, and forget the discipleship, he knows the road she has traveled, right? And so she gets to the end. I don't know how Corey doesn't give her away.
Can I ask the question a little differently then? Can you win a game like the Big Brother and only play the first half of the game where you are in full control? And like, let's pretend she has zero control and somehow squeaks by to the end. Can you win it?
Cameron's zero control except for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Cameron's had no control and he's been HOH.
She has controlled the game for 3 times as much as Cameron has. And even though I feel like his moves have been more explosive, that's not her moves aren't explosions. They're subtleties, right? Yeah. They're minor shifts, like moving pieces and then making it seem like other people. Like, I don't even know if the entire house appreciates how much she has controlled this game.
No, she is a silent fart. Like, that's what she is. Like, it's deadly. That's who Suri is. That's not the type of fart Cameron is.
Loud. It's like a loud one. It's kind of wet. But like,
he's loud. He's a little wet. Loud and
it gets stuck in his hair.
Well, we're going back to the episode. As we said, we saw Blue sitting there being consoled by Suri and Felicia with her loss. And we hear a little soundbite from Cameron, and Cameron's like, I got this new alliance that I just formed, the Fugitives. Then we see the Fugitives, Matt, Jag, and Cameron. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I spent this time putting together what I can do once I get back in the house, but also figuring out what happens around me when I'm just here. And then we cut to a scene where Mimi, Felicia, America is sitting there with Matt and Blue, and she's telling them about the deal she made with Mimi and Felicia.
And he's just sitting there,
hanging out.
Yeah.
And they were zombies, not ghosts. I don't get it, America.
Right.
Thank you, Sheldon.
You do.
And it's just so funny because, like, this is the reason America's been getting in trouble, like, in the house. It's because she talked too much.
She runs her
mouth. And I understood trying to be transparent to Blue and Matt in the situation, because it's like, if I'm telling you about this, then that means obviously I don't value this information to keep a secret. Mm-hmm. But Cameron's sitting right there, man. And right there. You don't trust Cameron like that.
Yeah.
So
she's not even wearing camouflage. She's just wearing a black and gray body. Like, how does she not remember he was there?
Oh man, it's a
little like there's Cameron. Chantate. I'm a little bit like you. I really like Cameron, right. And I don't really know all the crap that he's gotten into and all the bad stuff he said. But as a character, there is this sort of like he's a good guy, but he's a sneaky guy, but he's a fun guy. Like I think he was sitting there quietly, and she completely forgot he was there.
He was there, but is he a sneaky guy? I feel like he's very secretive and strategic, but is that sneaky? Like, I think
he thinks he's secretive and strategic. I don't actually like there are moments of, yeah, that's a good idea, and then it's sort of like Jag. Like, we have a lot of these, half good players where there's a moment and you're like, aha, and then you're like, ah. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I appreciate Cameron. I appreciate the wrench he throws into everyone's plans, because like he's kind of like Suri, where he's with everyone and no one at the same time. Like, now that he's back, everyone wants a piece of.
It's harder when he's been everybody's target and he's been voted out.
I think it's the opposite. I think he's with no one and everyone.
Everyone thinks they're working with him now. Blue thinks she's working with him. America thinks she's working with him. Everyone thinks they're working with Cameron now. Everyone.
It's, I mean, to a degree, right? To a degree. They think that.
They think it. All he needs to do is grow a patchy mustache. He might be in with Corey and Matt too. Like, like people are like, now that he's back, they're like, okay, how can we work with him, use him for our strategy? But he's not really working with him. He's kind of like, I'm just kind of watching what everyone's doing now. Getting
to that, we get the HOH competition. And as we know, Corey can play in this competition, and they're building a puzzle, and it's a standing puzzle where the pieces are a little broken up, and it seems to be everyone's gunning for this HOH, right? We hear from Suri, we hear from Mimi, we hear from Cameron. Cameron's one was funny. He's like, now that I'm good with everyone, I'm just, I'm just gonna win it. Whatever, I'm just gonna win this thing.
Everyone thinks they're working with Cam now.
Well, at this point, there is no threat of winning too many competitions. He the cat's out of the bag, so there's not a threat anymore. And the truth is, he was just voted out. So yes, he's working with everybody, but he isn't actually sure. They just voted him out. So go win another competition. Why not? There's no loss. You're not going to be there for long. So
you're not. Yeah, you are on borrowed. No, 100%. Sheldon is correct. He's on borrowed time. Yes. Borrowed time.
After this week, when he can't be HOH again, they're like, okay, let's get Cam out again.
Forget after this week. You just went out the house. You're the easiest one to go ahead and take out again. You're the easiest one to take out.
He can't be going out this week because he's HOH.
No, I'm saying when he's into this, when he goes to this
when he comes back in, yeah. Oh, he does need to win this, but I feel like everyone needs to win this. Everyone needs to win this for other reasons.
Not Bowie Jane. Bowie Jane can go back to bed.
It's funny, in her confessional, she's just like, I just hope someone else wins who didn't. But I'm like, she's not even trying to win this for herself. She's just like, whoever else wins it, I hope it's not the people who were mean to me before.
Well, that was funny because Bowie Jane's like, I gotta start looking out for me and my new people.
You've been looking out for nobody and anybody. Are you alive?
And she's like, the other ones, Mimi and Felicia and Sri already burned me. And it's like, man, did they know?
You know what? After Bowie Jane,
she sit there like you've been doing.
After Bowie Jane, maybe it's not so bad to tell people you're a lawyer.
I don't know. I don't think Bowie Jane told them she's a lawyer.
No, I know. Where is the brain? She's supposed to be a smart woman. Where what's going on?
Anybody else do the work for her. If she goes and tells them they're a lawyer, then go, oh, what's your name again? Who are you?
FBJ, F and Bowie Jane, she is just trying to get through. And so we get to this competition and stuff, right? And in the comp, you got to build this puzzle.
By the way, that was the most time we spent this season talking about fucking Bowie Jane. And we have nothing to say about her.
Well, Bowie Jane, they go into the comp, and it comes down basically to Cameron and Matt. They're like neck and neck. I don't necessarily know why Cameron decided to look over, saw that Matt was right there, and decided to take it from him. But he did. And sure enough,
a smart move. I wouldn't let just Matt win for me.
It's great. And Cameron is the new HOH once again.
Woo. Let me ask a question. Why did Matt, we talked about they were all gunning for it. I don't actually think Matt needs it.
Matt does not need it.
Matt is the most protected, I think, in the house. Everyone loves him.
Yeah. So like, why show again that you are such a competition? Like, why?
Because he hasn't won
HOH.
No, and that's what it is.
So
is it also just that he's an athlete and he can't turn it off?
Correct.
Like,
but he's never actually won.
But he's trying hard, and that's why he's trying so hard.
He tries.
But if he won, he would have had to make a choice, a decision. He would have had to show his cards.
Would have been shown.
Would he have done any different than what Cameron did? Maybe Bowie, Jane, and Felicia instead of.
We'll see.
I think maybe Cameron and Bowie Jane.
Before we get there, we get to the end though. Before we get to the end, I want to talk about this because now Cameron has won another competition. He has won the third. He's won his third HOH, and immediately he lets some things be known. Right, he's working with the fugitives. This HOH is going to go a lot different than his last HOH. He's actually going to talk to people and still have his own idea, but he's going to like try to imprint on other people what he wants to do before he. So he has a meeting with the fugitives with Matt and Jack. So we know immediately that Matt and Jack off the table as noms. He also, as we saw, basically had a protection order in for Suri.
Protection order.
He's been told to protect Suri.
Yeah.
And that's what he's out here to do. So Suri is not going to be going up, which is fantastic because last week and this week, by Suri not being on the block, by not being anywhere near the block, it allows Suri to do the things we were talking about her doing before, which is work.
You're right.
Work. And I know that last week I said that it's probably made the most sense for Suri to tell them what's up. And I do think that was the best move.
Thought she was going to confess that Jared's her son?
I thought that would have been the best move. I said that last week. I would have thought that would have been the best move once Jared was gone, because then it would have given some clarity to both Mimi and Felicia about why she was doing the things she was doing. But I think
there was too much bad blood between her and Felicia for her to trust her with the information like that. Like, I feel like as far as Suri's concerned, Felicia is persona non grata, and like her being up on the block is kind of like her one.
Well, that's the thing though. Felicia and Suri have already made up. And
have they made up from game, or have they made up as friends?
Both. Game wise, Felicia knows that she can't trust Suri fully, but at the same time, she knows that Suri is her best chance to be around there.
Oh no! Who can't trust whom?
Exactly.
Suri has never put Felicia's name in anyone's mouth. Felicia has thrown Suri under the bus multiple times.
But that's the thing, though. Felicia's thrown Suri under the bus to save her own skin, if you will, like we saw in this episode. In a conversation that Suri...
Question. If Suri was up, would she have done the same?
Yeah.
You think she would have thrown Felicia under the bus? I think she would have thrown Mimi under the bus. I think she would have thrown just about everybody else.
Remember, they were willing to let Felicia get voted out. And so that's why Felicia feels the way that she does, is that once she found out that...
Go ahead.
Well, once she found out that they were down to let her go over Izzy, it's changed everything. That's what I don't hold anything against Felicia because
Felicia was doing that stuff before.
But she wasn't throwing Suri's name out there. She wasn't throwing Suri's name out there.
Or Jared.
I disagree.
Yeah. Or Jared.
I really disagree with that. Like, no, she wasn't throwing Jared.
She was talking too much. She was talking too much. But she went to Jared herself, was like, I'm a final two with Suri, but nah, I don't want to be a Suri. And then she started talking shit to other people about Suri. Like, no, definitely not. She definitely had Suri or was trying to put her name out there before all of that happened. Well, she didn't know. Well, she didn't know how good Suri was.
Izzy over.
How could she not know how good Suri was?
That's the thing. She didn't know. Like, for instance, you saw in this episode where she talks to Cameron and says she just found out recently that Suri was the mastermind, if you will, behind all of the things that were going on. And that's true. It was talking to Suri. Suri came out last week and told Felicia, so here's the truth about what happened in terms of you going home. Everybody was saying your name. I was down with it only because they were. And the reason I was going to keep Izzy is because me and Izzy were close. Like, you're close to Mimi, blah, 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 blah. And so that's one of the reasons why they have gotten on a much better page, is because they had to sit down, the two of them. And Suri didn't try to lie about the stuff, but she did lie about the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. as the two of you know, like the reason she lied is because it's a little bit more intricate than as to why. But she was like, told Felicia that, oh, it's true, I was trying to get you out, but it wasn't nothing personal, and it was because I was close to Izzy.
Yeah,
I have to say, one of the detriments of the game that Suri plays is that it's extremely hard to show it on video.
Yeah.
Because it happens over conversations that last hours, over multiple conversations. And, I was sort of sitting here thinking, I wish we would have seen a lot of the conversations that she had, but that wouldn't have, you can't condense that to a 7-minute segment. It's really hard to see her work.
It's such a gradual move, right? It's gradual. Because it's like, me having a conversation with Chantate is like, that's just talking. But as we talk more and we're getting deeper, and I'm saying, I'm really sorry, and such, and as we're talking deeper, Chantate's feeling better and better about me, as opposed to like instantaneously, hey, I'm sorry, it flipped.
It's so subtle, it works so well. Because we were like, oh no, she wasn't trying to game you, she wasn't trying to do anything, we were just talking about nothing. And you're like, nah, you got game.
I have to say, having played the game similar like this with Kevin, this is the Kevin game. Sorry for telling everybody. Like, this is the Kevin game. He just talks about things not related to the game, and he's actually interested in what he's talking. He's not sitting there saying, oh God, I have to have another talk with Chantate. But along the way,
a lot of listening, actually. It's a lot of listening.
There are a lot of listening.
It's a lot of listening.
Along the way, he might sneak a little something in there. He might sort of start creating those bonds, and that's why Kevin is really good at these types of games.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, as I've been saying on this show, the reason I would not go after a Suri, Dan, because they've given me the blueprint on how to do this. Like, I learned from them on how to do this, so I don't have some kind of ego where I'm like, I need to take out the master.
And now this is when you give Chantate and me a compliment.
Well, Sheldon, that's why I love playing these games with you, Sheldon. Because you listen and I talk. And then with Chantate, I mean, how else would I know that she's going to go through every cabinet in my home if I did not have Chantate in my life?
I give myself a tour so you don't have to.
So, Sheldon, a side note, super side note, very personal. When I moved into this new house, Chantate came over. All of my apartments, all my homes. But this one I moved into. I was doing a podcast with a friend of mine, Shauna, and a different show I used to do. And Chantate came over, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here." I said, "Hey, I just left the door unlocked. Go ahead and do what you got to do." And so she did her own tour of my home.
Chantate, you could do the same to every drawer. But
if she ever came to your house, Sheldon, you don't have to offer it. She will.
Over there, I will.
It's all nicely organized. Don't worry. She just
goes through it. The first time.
You can look at my underwear. It's okay.
Well, the first time she did it.
Go that deep. I'm just your medicine cabinet.
I'll send you the list.
It was about 9 years ago when we first met Chantate. She came to me and CJ used to live together. She came to our house and we just barely knew her. And she literally just started rifling through the cabinet.
Hold on. We had known each other for like a couple of weeks at least.
It was like a few weeks.
Long enough. For Sheldon, let me give you a perspective. The first time I met CJ, he looks at me and goes, "We're gonna be friends." I was like,
he did.
He's like, "Hi, who are you?" I'm Chantate. "Oh, we're gonna be friends." And then Kevin, who showed up like half an hour late, I was like, "Are you guys running things?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're really late." He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "So this is how we met." So obviously, by the time I get to their house, I can go through and do whatever I want.
How did we get there?
Exactly, Sheldon. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. And then we moved to our second apartment. She did the same thing, and that's how I knew that this is just what she does.
Chantate, is this how you is this how you create bonds with people? You open their drawers?
Well, I mean, you invited me over, might as well. It wasn't like opening drawers. I came in, we were in the kitchen. That was like the main area. So I was like, where is everything at?
I want to be very clear, Chantate.
Not a single one. Huh? You gonna move to
Vegas? I'm coming to Vegas, and I will knock on your front door and be like, "Hey, I'm looking through your drawers."
There they are, Sheldon. Go ahead.
They don't even have drawers on them. They're
just open.
They're just open. I knew you were coming. But no, I went in and I was like, well, we were in the kitchen, so I need to know where everything is. And then like they didn't offer to show me around, so I was like, forget it, I'll do it myself. So I walked in. I saw, oh, this must be CJ's room. There's Kevin's room. Clearly, because Kevin doesn't clean. Okay. And I sat down, and they were like, where'd you go? I said, I just gave myself a tour.
I'm a cleaning lady now. It's good.
It's not nice to call your girlfriend that.
Nope. I'm a lady that I pay. Lady I pay money to.
Yeah, she has a service. So yeah, and then they went to the second place, and by then we had been friends for years. So I was like,
yeah, at that point we just know.
And then when CJ got his house, he's like, come in, Chantate, do what you gotta do. And I went and I gave him the tour again. And when Kevin had that place again.
Let's relate this to Big Brother. Kevin's in the Big Brother house. Mimi's there. Mimi and Kevin won't get along because she needs disinfecting, and you are going to be in the mess. Like that's something you're going to have to manage.
With stuff.
Nah, in the Big Brother house, I have less things to make messy, so there's not.
It's a big house.
Even, yeah, I'm not like my pants are on the floor, my stuff is thrown everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in the Big Brother house, that's not going to be the case because I live with a bunch of people.
So I know we shouldn't be talking about this for that long. I put a chair in my room so that my pants don't stay on the floor. They stay on the chair. That's what I do. There's a chair in my room for the pants.
I love it. I love it.
It's just there.
You don't worry about it wrinkling.
Nope. Back to the show though. Back to the show. So
huge detour.
Sorry about that. So
this is how much filler there was in that in the real movie. We never had filler here.
I would only do that to people who are like I like. I don't do it to people I don't care about. Like I don't go through your house because I don't.
I realize that.
Will you go through my drawers?
I'll go through your drawers, Sheldon. You're in.
She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me.
There's a couple conversations specifically now that Cameron's HOH once again. There's a couple conversations I want to touch on. One of the main ones, he talks to Jag and Matt, and they're going about who they want. They need to put up a hit list together, right, of who they want to take out. And they have Felicia and Mimi at the top of their hit list of people they want gone.
And Mimi's just collateral damage. Let's be honest.
Well, yes. In this situation, Mimi is because she's friends with Felicia. But Cameron is specifically looking for people that he doesn't think would vote for him if he was on the jury, which is, I feel like, is a smart tactic, especially when you're the last. This is the last stop before the jury train, right? So it's got to get off somebody that's not going to vote for you, and he doesn't think that Felicia is going to be one. So he has a conversation with Felicia, and he's pretty blunt with her, as she is blunt with him, about their relationship, and he tells her that he finds her as the great persuader.
Mastermind.
And she's like, that's actually Suri. I just figured that out.
When he said that, I was like, ooh, that's wrong.
Yeah.
and part of me is like, did he say that just as an excuse? Or does he really think that Felicia is running things?
He really thinks that she's going to be able to convince everyone to do what she wants.
Wow.
Because
he's not paying attention.
I think he originally had Suri as the president, Felicia as the vice president, and Izzy as the Secretary of Defense. And then he takes out Izzy.
That's correct.
Yes, he takes out Izzy, but remember now he has a protection order for Suri, and Suri's been doing good work of like doing nothing for the last 2 weeks,
or at least appearing so.
Exactly. So since that's the case, he thinks Felicia's the one that's the rebel rouser, and that he might have read things wrong initially. So,
well, I mean, he still thinks Felicia is Denzel Washington's sister, so
that is also true. That came up yesterday on the feeds.
Correct. So,
if I would be in that house and Jared would be so insistent on taking care of Suri, wouldn't I have a moment of why does he care? Why?
Everyone takes care of Suri.
But why? Like, shouldn't
why
there
did
be
he care so much about Suri? Izzy laid on a grenade for Suri. Why does Izzy care? I feel like if Jared were the only one, that's one thing, but so many people went out of their way, including Red, including Matt, including
that's
all these people.
Chantate makes a good point. The Red part, the red saying, Cam, You can trust Suri.
Our number one. We can do this. So like, and within all of those people, why would Jared stand out?
Yeah. You could imagine a contrarian coming into that house and saying, why is everybody so trustworthy of Suri? It's time to get her out.
Mm-hmm. And Cameron was that person until Red was like, no, we love Suri. And so he's like, okay, whatever. And now Jared tells him.
Then he tells Jared the plan, and Jared's like, I'm not going with the plan because it's bad for Suri. And then Jared goes out right behind Cameron, and he's like, hey, with like a blood oath, save Suri. And then that's okay. Yeah, Cameron's like, I'm in. Suri is on the outs. Me and Suri on the outs.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
And so like when Red, his BFF, until they had a little feud, tells him the same thing that Jared. Why would he call Jared out and make it seem like Jared stood out?
On top of that, we didn't even think about this. The known part where everyone knows Felicia and Suri had a knocked out, drag out fight. They don't know that they've made up. Mm-hmm. But everyone, remember, was listening at the door. So as far as he's concerned, she's on the outs. Mm-hmm. And if she's on the outs, that means we're on the in.
With Suri.
Yes. I'm part of Team Suri too. You know what I'm saying? That's what Cameron's like. So when Felicia's like, Suri's the master manipulator, he's like, sure.
Sure, you're just saying that because now y'all don't like each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you would think that. Like, oh my gosh, Suri is so good. Like,
I loved also, he had the conversation with Mimi, and his conversation with Mimi is like, I'm sure you can figure out what time it is, and you can see what's going on here. I'm sure you can feel it. It's in the air. All of us can feel it. So I know that you know what's about to happen right now. And since you know what's about to happen right now, I don't even got to say it. And she's like, yeah.
Okay.
But she said something hilarious. She's like, he said the word vibe. And she's like, well, I think we're not vibing. Like, so it was like, oh my God, this is the Mimi I've been waiting for.
Yes.
And he's like,
go ahead.
Well, he's like, everybody loves you. And even though you know how the vibe is going to go, like, ain't nothing going to happen to you. You're going to be okay. And she's like, yeah. And so nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Everything's going to be good. Yeah. Yeah. And so if I'm picking up what you're putting down, I'm going up. But I don't know what anything else you said means.
I love when he did put her up. He was just like, I've also had to sit next to my best friend. Sorry. And I was like, dang. Like, it's fair. Like, I had to put you up because you're associated with her, but that's the only reason.
And jump into the noms when he puts up Felicia.
Sorry, one sec. The other scene that they did in this episode was Mimi not knowing who Emily Dickinson is. And I was just like it was unnecessary. Like
Cameron didn't really either. He was like, she's a writer, poet, person.
Well, he made shit up, and like, don't make her look like an idiot when she's clearly not an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to see for her.
They really needed to fill time. They're like, Emily Dickinson, sure, let's talk about it.
Of all the things, like, fine, the cute little Febreze business that she did. Febreze, please sponsor us. Give me like her falling into the pool or something. Like this. Don't make her look like an idiot.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
It was a choice by the show. Lastly, we get Cameron putting up Felicia and Mimi, and he says Felicia's my target, man. I got some people on the jury that I want to sit next to, that I want them to be on the jury, and it is what it is. And then for you, Mimi, sometimes we all had to sit next to our best friend. Sometimes, it is what it is. And
he's like, peace. That's it.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't really understand with this is that even though he is evidently looking out for Suri, we never really got that strategy conversation between Cameron and Suri.
There hasn't been one.
I don't think there was one. I think he was doing Jared a favor, and he's like, and that's what he said. I'm not going to put you up, and that's all I have to say to you. Like, I don't think they're working together. I don't think they have a reason to talk strategy together. I think he just told Jared I wouldn't put you up, so I won't put you up.
I'll tell you what their conversation went like. Let me spoilers. Yeah, spoilers. It's not even spoilers.
Spoiler time.
Not even spoilers. Yeah, because the conversation went with them. Suri went up there. She said, I'm not gonna go up here and say any names or push anybody. He's like, I know. And well, first they had a conversation downstairs. She said,
which proves Sheldon, she would never have said Felicia's name the way
they're downstairs. She's like, so you want to like, I'm not gonna really push nobody, and do you. I'm gonna trust that you're gonna do whatever you got to do. And he says, "Good talk, Suri." And then she laughs.
Chantate, that point you made, she knew that Mimi and Felicia were going on. She knew that 100%.
Well, she knew it wasn't gonna be her. She knew. I don't think she knew it was gonna be them. I think she thought it might be Corey in America.
I believe that if it was her up, she would have said Felicia's name? No, I think she would have picked any number of.
I think Suri has settled into
anyone. America's name.
I think she's settled into the Survivors, Sandra Diaz, Twine, anybody but me philosophy, because both her son and her daughter are gone, and her other son is in a fine enough position that she has to worry about him.
Yeah. But her sister, Felicia,
not her sister, her neighbor. She was not her sister, neighbor.
Sometimes you bring a neighbor to court, I guess.
The neighbor, that is kind of it. She was not
and what's Mimi?
Mimi
she live in the city. Like Mimi
live in Corey.
The city. She's not part of the family.
Corey is the milkman. He comes
enemy number one.
Wow, just to give her something.
Her son's bully. Corey's her son's bully.
That's the way around.
Okay, last question. Who's Cameron?
The creepy dude that lives down the street.
Yeah, he's the creepy dude that everybody knows.
She kind of warns her kids, stay away from that creepy dude.
Yeah, and she had a decent enough relationship to make sure her kids didn't get hurt. But like that was kind of it.
You don't come on her porch. He knows.
What do you mean by come on her porch?
Physically with his
son. Yes, I get that's how it happens physically.
No, his body walking.
COME. Across the line.
Okay.
COME.
Oh, that's
COME.
Yes.
COME.
COME. No other.
No other kind of.
No other kind of.
COME. So, time to get to the spoilers. Before we do, if you're watching, thank you for joining us. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You can find me at KG Fury. You can find Chantate at the Villain Chantate. You can find Sheldon here on the show or at the For the Fans Reality. You can find us at those places. Spoilers are coming through right now. Chantate, hit our spoiler music.
I did it before, but spoilers.
Here it is. Okay. So Cameron's the HOH. He has put up Felicia and Mimi. The veto winner is guess, Chantate.
Cameron.
It is Cameron, in fact, Cameron.
Of course.
And
that's why they need to get him out, because he won't let anyone else win.
Do you know who came in second in the veto?
Matt.
No, actually Mimi.
What?
Mimi came in second in the veto.
So close.
Yes.
If she had gotten it and taken herself down, who would Cameron have put up next to?
So that's what I want to talk about. This is the spoiler section. So for the last 2 days, Blue has been pushing for Corey to be the replacement now.
Oh, she did.
Jag and Matt have been thinking, have their pecking order, and Blue is the third out for them because they think Blue is too close to Suri, and Matt wants to be the one closest to Suri. So he thought getting rid of Jared would allow him to be the closest to Suri, and then somehow Blue has usurped that position.
Right her way into it.
So Matt, though having a good relationship with Blue, would like to see Blue gone so that way he could be the closest to Suri. In fact, with Felicia being the target, Matt plans on asking Suri if he can move into the comic room after Felicia's gone, so that way he could be close to his mom. And that's the plan for him.
He's so smart.
Yes. So over the last 2 days, the idea has been to backdoor Corey. And let me tell you, I need us to get there because after we're definitely not going to see this on the show. And so I'm going to talk about this here. After Felicia goes on the block, she has another conversation with Cameron, and it is very contentious. intentionally. Because Felicia said, if I'm going to go home, I'm going home guns a-blazing. And I'm not holding back. She literally said that to Suri. Suri laughed and said, you go, girl. And so she went upstairs to Cameron and told Cameron, listen, I know that when we talked earlier, I had another idea for you on why I should be on the block, why I should not go on the block. You should just put up Corey and we should take his little ass out of here because we all know you want to be close to America. And we all know you want to be with America in the jury house. This offends Cameron to high heavens. He says, little Stevie's watching this. I don't want her to think that her dad is that kind of guy or nothing like that. They get into a fight, they cut the feed.
But is she wrong?
This is all from retellings, right? Because when that conversation happened, the feeds have been trying to like not show Cameron as like a weird, creepy guy the best they can. And anytime Cameron and America come up conversation, they cut the feeds. They move to something else. And so Felicia goes up there and she says, we all know that's what you want, feeds cut. So this story is being retold through both Cameron and Felicia's retellings to other people. But she said, I just went up there and told him. I told him, we all know you want to be up laid up there with America. We all see it. We all know. And so I don't know why you don't just put up little Corey and get his ass up out of here. And she said,
what makes her think that once Corey's gone, she's going to go, oh, Cameron. Oh.
Who
because look how hot he is.
I'm going to say this. When Cameron does his hair, he is cuter than he usually is. Like, there was like, he did the blowout one time. I was like, okay. And then the one time he actually like judged his curls, I was like, there you go, Cameron. You should wash every day. But like, he doesn't tend to do that. But that doesn't mean America's going to go right to him. With
correct. But so one thing that America does do is she does enjoy flirting with Cameron. She told Corey that to his face the other day. And Corey's like, I don't care. Corey had a conversation with Cameron and told him, look, man, she's an adult. She can do what she wants. If she wants to flirt with you, that's her business. After that, Cameron kind of took that as a cool, I'm going to flirt back with her. At one point, he does try to hold her hand, and she pulls her hand away. Like, what is this? And then he tries to play coy. Corey's sitting right there. That's and like I said, Felicia has seen it. Now, people on the internet have said there was one time America was taking a shower, and then she Cameron's sitting there in the bathroom, and she says, Coily, you want to come in here? And he's like, no. And she's like, all right. And she told Corey, I like flirting with Cameron because it's funny. Now, she did say to Corey, it does make me uncomfortable because sometimes I'm at like a 1 or a 2 and he's at a 5. And that's too much for me. I can't. I can't do it.
That's not very cool on her part, though.
The biggest thing, though, is that
not because she's flirting with Cameron, but because it responds to it. If they were like flirting and both having fun with it, that's one thing. But she knows that he is into her like that. Like, that's not cool.
So the thing is, though, her and Corey had a conversation, and the conversation she had with Corey was that, look, she was mad because she was mad about that conversation that Cameron had with Corey. Because Corey told her what happened. So, I told him I don't care. And she's like, why don't you care? Like, I want you to care. Like you play
stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
And that's when Corey was like, I do care. Okay. I do care and I don't love it. And she's like, then I won't do it so much anymore. Like, that's all I want from you. Like, I want you to be like, because I'm into this.
Yeah, but
I want you to be into this.
That's stupid. Come on, that's an immature thing.
That is immature. Like, why should he be more invested when she openly and blatantly goes out?
Well, no, Chantate, because part of the reason is Corey's like, we're just gonna be friends after this, and she's like, we're just gonna be friends, and he's like, yeah. She's like, all right, if we're just gonna be friends, we're just gonna be friends.
I'm sorry, she's the first person that's ever touched him. Okay, like for Corey,
were they in the shower naked?
Nah, they were in bathing suits.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like,
either way, third base. America is an older woman. It's funny to say that because she's 26 or something. But she's older than him. She's more experienced than him. She gave them sloppy kisses.
According to the record, she ain't that experienced because she was kissing like this.
I had a biter once, and it was something. It was a horrible experience.
So But the thing is that like whatever's going on there, that's why Felicia is like, Cameron, we all see it. We all know that you're into her. And he's like, I'm not. And she's like, no, we all know that you are. We next see a conversation between Cameron and America in the HOH room. And it's so crazy because the conversation is him saying, she told me that I should put up Corey so that way I could be in the jury with you. He said that straight up to America. And she's like, no, you're kidding. She actually said that to you? And he's like, yeah. And then she like laughs and he says, stop talking about me, America. Stop talking about us. And then she's like, I ain't said nothing. And he's like, just stop it though. Don't bring my name up again. And he's like mad at America about this observation that
anybody could have made.
Yeah. And I think
but I kind of like, look, I don't think he's blameless, but she's also not blameless. Like I'm sorry, like she doesn't need to be doing it, and I kind of think for her it's a little bit of a game. Like
it's 100% game. It's 100% game for her, and she's a flirt.
Game in the sense of strategy. I think it's game in the sense of I got the guy I want. Let me ruin him a bit.
It's partially strategy for her too.
What's the strategy of making him bad?
Poverty.
Strategy. This has come across as her like flexing her muscle, like look at me, I'm this cute girl, and like I can play around with him whenever I want. Like it's. I mean, she's on Big Brother with a camera full of houses, so fine, but it's not very smart in like life in general, shit like that. Yeah. So like, I don't like that she's doing that. I don't think that's respectful to him as a human being. Like you're playing around with his emotions. That's not cool. You're in this thing with Corey, so you're playing around with his emotions too, because you're playing this to try to get this reaction instead of being an adult. She is the older woman here. She should be the mature enough to say, I don't like, Corey, that you think after this house we're not going to be anything because I plan on us being something else. Do you not like?
Well, she kind of had that conversation with flirtily with Corey, and Corey's like, I think I want us to give us a shot, and she's like, okay.
And that's all it should have been. It shouldn't be her. Oh, let me go make him jealous with this other guy. Again, you like stupid games, you win stupid prizes. If this were like real life, she was doing that shit. That's how people get raped. That's how people get assaulted. That's like this is not a game.
And that's why, like, they had.
Does she flirt with Matt or Jag like that?
She flirts with Jag. She flirts with Jag all the time. She doesn't flirt with Matt, but Matt's very much into Riley. She's very much into Riley. So I don't think I think that she figured that out way early. So no point in doing that. Same with Jared, right? She like Jared and Blue, no point in flirting, but she flirts with Jag all the time. Like she flirts with Jag. She flirts with she flirted with everyone available. Jag, Corey, Cameron.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Chantate. I don't love it, but that's also like I'm also a flirty person, so I kind of get it. But I don't think I would be flirty in a relationship.
And but like, she's not in a relationship, and it's funny because that's kind of what has happened. Because Cameron's like, "Well, she got a situation," and she's like, "We haven't defined the relationship." But I like him. Yeah, that's my buddy. I like him.
That's like bull crap.
That's bullshit. They are together. Like no one in that house is under any misconception that they are not an item.
But the only one that she like I said, her flirting with Cameron is part strategy, part because she's bored and has having fun with it. But here's the biggest thing though, is that got brought up by Felicia, which is really funny to me because Felicia just went up there. So after that though. After the veto, Cameron wins the veto. Cameron says to Matt and Jag, I don't like how smug and how chill this boy thinks he is in this house. I think the smartest move is to backdoor Corey.
Well, I must say, though, that we did see that scene in the episode yesterday between Corey and Cameron, and Corey was smug,
because Corey has no reason to not believe that him and Cameron are chill because they've been chill. Cameron tried to tell Corey, be careful with America. She's a little older. Yeah, this was like 2 weeks ago. They were playing pool for hours, and he talks to him like he's his big brother or whatever. That's how he was talking to him. But now that almost as if he has more feelings for America. It's been laid out there.
Yes. I think that's the part. Like her being a flirt in general is one thing, but her like playing around with someone's emotions, like that's something else. Like her flirting with Jag with understanding that it's nothing and it's just fun is one thing. Her flirting with Cameron, where he doesn't have that understanding, is something quite different.
I think she thinks that her and Corey are pretty obvious. And so the rest of it's just fun.
The only thing that doesn't fully make sense to me is that she also flirts with Jag. And so because she flirts with Jag, my idea is that she's just a flirt. If she was only flirting with Cameron, then it was malicious.
Correct.
Right? And so like I don't think it is malicious, but I also think she probably gets a high off of it.
She does. Like she's
she loves it.
Attention, whatever.
Yeah,
but the fact that she has stated, sometimes he makes me uncomfortable because I'm here and he goes here. Like, honey, that means
stop going here.
Stop going here. Stop it. Just stop. Like, if he's misreading and going like 0 to 20, then like you need to stop. You need to read the room.
So Cameron is started to target Corey
for his girl
as he wants out.
Like
because he's the smartest one in the house. Duh, Chantate. That's obviously why he's targeting him.
Right.
And so, I mean, as B Bean says here in the chat, America's behavior is not unusual. It isn't. And she's a flirt. That's who she is. That's what she does. But he is talking to Jag and Matt about this. Now, for the last 2 days, Jag has been saying this is a terrible idea. We should not do this because Blue is coming for Corey. Corey's coming for Blue. We shouldn't take out Corey for Blue. And
let Blue do her own dirty work.
On Saturday, on the HOH cams, Cameron saw Blue talk to Corey for about 2 hours. And they were gaming each other on the hammock. While they were gaming each other, though, Cameron had come to the decision that there's no way they couldn't have been plotting to get Cameron out. Which is part of the reason why he's like, they're obviously going to work together. Let's figure out what's going on up here. As we just talked about, Blue has a target. It's the guy that took out her man, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys both following me?
Yes.
Right after the conversation with Corey, Blue comes upstairs. Cameron, being Cameron, said, "What did y'all talk about?" And Blue told him, "We talked about Corey coming for you." Because Blue has a motive. She wants him to target Corey.
So it's not her getting her hands dirty.
And Cameron, well, no, she just wants him out as soon as possible. She'd do it herself if she could. She's not HOH right now. Cameron then goes, "I knew it." I knew it. Did they talk about that? Not really. But that's what Blue said they talked about. And he's like, "I knew it." So he's telling Jag and Matt, "I'm taking out Corey. That's what I'm gonna do. I have the veto. It's up to me." And then Matt's like, "Go ahead and do it." Because for Matt, he's like, "Cool. Then that means we can target Cameron next week. Because we need Corey to help take out Cameron. And then we need to take out Corey. But if he takes out Corey, we can take out Cameron. Piss posh applesauce. We're good to go."
Nice.
Jag's like, "I don't want to do that because if we do that, the girls will consolidate and they'll come for us." And Matt's like, "That sounds like a YP and not an MP." Because Matt has a good relationship with Sari, with Bowie Jane, with America, with Felicia, with Blue.
Like, they'll consolidate and go after you.
Correct. And then Matt's like, "And I can just win all the comps after all of them are gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll win HOH, and then I'll win veto."
He's my only competition in these comps.
Correct.
So, let me ask them. What did he do with the veto?
So after hours of conversation,
deliberations,
Jag has been saying for 2 days is a terrible idea. Matt's been like, "Man, it's not that terrible idea." Then finally, yesterday, Jag said, "This is a terrible idea for you specifically, Cameron, because if you take out Corey, then America's gonna be pissed at you. I won't be pissed at you, but America will be pissed at you. Blue's gonna target you next. Felicia's gonna be mad at you for putting her on the block to begin with. Mimi's gonna be mad at you for putting her on the block to begin with. and they're not even accounting for Suri. And so after the other conversation, he's like, no, I took out Corey. And then that's when Matt's like, yeah, if you take out Corey, then everyone's coming after you. So just, that is the truth.
Heads up.
And so after that conversation, he talks to Corey again, because you talked to Corey earlier. Corey had said his targets would have been Blue and Suri. And he's like, Suri and Felicia, or Suri and Mimi. And he's like, that's bullshit. Why wouldn't you go after Blue? Because remember, he's thinking that Blue and Corey are now working together. So when he has the conversation again, he's like, in all honesty, it'll probably be Blue because I already put her up once. And she's probably who I would want to take out. And he's like, good, because she's trying to get me to backdoor you. And so he tells Corey that this morning. And so he ends up keeping him the same. Felicia will be in the house for 3 more days, maybe.
No, she'll be out.
Maybe, because in all of this, the subplot is that last week when they were doing good work, when Blue was trying to turn Corey and Jag and Matt against Corey, she told them that she had a conversation with Mimi, and Mimi said she was going to come for Jag and Matt, and that's what she heard from, not from Mimi, but from Corey.
Only slightly more than Bowie.
And that's the thing, though, Chantate. Blue told Matt and Cameron that Corey told her that Mimi was coming for those two. Mm-hmm. As you saw today, that there was a 4-person alliance thing of America, Felicia, Mimi, and Corey.
Right.
The goal of Blue saying this was because she wanted them to be mad at Corey. And they were mad at Corey. They were like, how did Corey know this information and not come tell us, but told Blue?
Yeah.
So,
hold on, Sheldon. And then, after time, they said, you know what we need to do? We need to take out Mimi because she's the one targeting us, not Corey. So, they want Mimi gone this week. Cameron wants Felicia gone this week.
When did Blue start playing Big Brother?
The moment Jared went home.
Jared got kicked out.
What the heck just happened? Like she woke up and she's playing.
The moment Jared got kicked out was when she knew.
When she had no one to protect but herself. Now she's like, okay, it's time to make moves.
Well, not even that. She started playing the moment Corey put her up.
Yeah.
If not like right before. She started playing the week before, and then she threw all those plans out the window and then switched back to being an uber aggressive version. Like it turned on the switch, but then she changed who the target was. Remember, she like lying to Jared and not telling what was going on during his HOH. And then Jared gets put on the block next to her, and she's like, I wasn't supposed to be up here. What the heck?
Like,
and then she turned and said, I'm 100% committed to Suri and Jared, and I'm taking out Corey because fuck him.
Mm-hmm. That is... Everyone's starting to play now. And everyone's like, okay, I guess it's time to actually do something.
So, but the one thing that's interesting is BB hit this.
Bowie Jane is still waiting for everybody else to do things.
Well, what's interesting is BB hit this in the chat. Everyone's coming for Cam anyway, and that is true. Everyone will still probably be putting up Cam. Even Matt and Jag, they know that Cam is someone they need to get out sooner rather than later.
Say vote. You can put him, and no one's going to be.
Well,
mad.
Also, he's the one in the middle of them winning comps. I think if Matt or Jag win, if Matt specifically wins HOH, and Cameron plays or doesn't play and it doesn't win veto, I think he's like, is this the time? He didn't win veto. He's too big of a comp threat. Is this the time? The moment Cameron does not win the veto is the time that Cameron needs to be concerned that he's going to go home.
Yep.
Because we're also running out of backdoor options. 6 people playing the comp. We're at final 9 right now.
Yeah.
So we need to get Cameron out before it's an automatic that he's going to play. And I mean, based on numbers, Suri's name has to get drawn eventually, no?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? She has never had to play for a veto.
She has not.
I feel like the producers are on Team Suri too.
Why would they? Well, of course they are, but why would they
put her name in the bag?
Why would they not put her name in the bag though?
Because they're on Team Suri too. Like she has somehow finessed everyone. They don't even put her name in the bag. They're like, forget it, Suri, we got you.
So B-Bean says, which 4 votes would evict Felicia? So the votes to evict Felicia are America, Bowie, Matt, and Jag is all they need. They also going to have Corey, Suri, and Blue. It's going to be unanimous. Yeah. It may be 6-1. But that's what it's looking like it'll be.
Yeah. I'm sad to lose Felicia.
I know you are, Sheldon. Go ahead and we're gonna get a little eulogy here, and then we'll get some more.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to celebrate the life of Felicia. She was my first mama. I'll miss her antics, her fun, her honesty, and her depth. Thank you, Mama.
Honesty.
She was honestly herself this entire game. Honestly.
Hopefully, we can maybe get Felicia on the show. We're gonna reach out to her and her people. See, because she will be coming outside the house. She will not be going to the jury
on the show that night because I'm gonna be like going cray.
We're gonna have. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Chantate. It's gonna be Sheldon. It's gonna be Felicia. I like how being said Felicia is Sheldon's first mama. Correct. I don't really understand what happened to his actual mama, but this is first
I
mama.
have a mama. He's my mama.
So that's what we're gonna have here. That's it for the spoiler section. Felicia and I know we won't see it. I'm sure we're gonna just get bits and pieces, but apparently Felicia rips into Corey and America during her plea. Her plea today.
How does she rip into the 2 people who could vote against her?
She don't care. She knows she's going home. She knows she's going home. She said,
"You're cool. Fuck you."
She's gonna read everybody. She's gonna read them all. That's all she.
In the meantime, Mimi's not playing for her life. She's disinfecting.
It's gonna be a fun week. Next week, Cameron can't play for HOH, so we're gonna see what happens when Cameron can't play for HOH and if Cameron goes up.
Would protect Cameron or wouldn't put Cameron?
Jag,
really? Cameron has been so many times. Like one time, Jag almost went home because of Cameron.
But the fugitives, baby. So that's about it. Anything else you guys got?
I wish Cameron would wash a little bit more. He looks better when he washes. He does. Like
I would be so embarrassed if somebody said that about me.
We all look better when we wash, but like Cameron usually has like the fuzzy but
some of his hair. She's talking about his hair
when he does his hair and I'm like, okay, Cameron, I see you. Like he needs to do that more.
B-Bean says, "Is the fugitives real?" They are Cameron. This week.
They are real to Cameron.
They are real to Cameron, therefore they're real this week. We'll see what happens after. The thing that is real is the Minutemen, which is Matt and Jag. So that is real. That's real. So I assume the fugitives is real, at least for now.
Israel.
Israel. Yes, Israel. Wish. Anything else?
Listen, we are getting down the stretch with this little people in that house. We have a month to go, something like that, Kevin? Another year? Yep. How long is left?
About a month left to go.
So that means we probably have a double coming up at some point, too. I think I hope we get some fun content coming up, and I hope to see a lot more Suri Masterclass.
Yep.
I want the rest of her season to be just as she started it, in control.
We're putting out wishes. I would wish for Cameron and Suri to actually align and start working together. It would be very entertaining.
We'll see. We shall see.
I will also say I think we need to change the name of the show for the Suri fans.
Oh, welcome. You guys welcome. I've been here for the whole time.
Excuse me. I've always been a Sari fan. I just think that her game has not been perfect.
Of course it's not perfect.
Because her son was there. Jared were not there. This would have been
okay.
Yes.
Goodbye.
So thank you guys for joining us once again. We will be back Thursday to talk Survivor, and then we'll be back Friday night to talk Big Brother. Thank y'all for joining us. Coming to you from outside of the Big Brother house. Good night. Courtney.
Look at that mustache. Oh.
Nah.